Halloween is often seen as one sugar-fueled night, but what if it could be something more? In this episode of Intentional Household, I'm joined by Tatiana, where we explore how to turn Halloween into a meaningful, fun, and connection-rich experience for the whole family. Whether your kids are still eager, trick-or-treaters, or starting to age out of costumes and candy bags, there are so many ways to make this season intentional and memorable. We'll share creative ways older kids can stay involved, sustainable costume swap ideas, quick dinner strategies to avoid the sugar crash, and simple safety tips to help your night go smoothly. We'll also talk about how to set realistic candy boundaries and create traditions that last longer than the wrappers. Plus, we've created a free resource to help you plan your Halloween night with confidence, so expectations are clear and your kids feel safe, supported, and included. Let's make Halloween more than just candy. Let's make it intentional. Tatiana, when we sat down, I mentioned how excited I am to be talking about Halloween.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. And anyone who knows my family, even the slightest, knows how much we love Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It is a season for us. It's not just a day. It is the entire month of October.
You're in it right now.
We're in it. Yes, which is really exciting. And so we're talking about Halloween so that others can get an idea of how they can make this a tradition in their family or their household that goes beyond just one night of trick-or-treating.
Yes. And I think some people are like, oh, Halloween, too commercial. It's just about candy and stuff like that. But it really doesn't have to be that way. I love it too.
Yes.
Spooky season. This is when I get to get it. I literally don't watch like scary movies or horror movies until October. I save them.
Yeah,
Save them up.
Of course.
Like if I see anything, I'm like, nope, gotta wait for Halloween for that. And I look forward to it.
Yes.
As soon as it gets a little crisp and cold in the air, I'm like,
yeah, that feeling.
yes.
And it brings connection with the family members, which is what we always want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're talking about Halloween today and talking about just all of the other elements that people can think of to make it bigger and better and lasting forever.
Yeah, like new traditions, family memories, all around this like little season. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not make a different kind of like take a different view on it than just a commercial, need to buy a costume, get some candy, too much candy,
yes,
and wrappers everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And I think that the traditional idea around Halloween is that it's for a certain age range we were talking about.
Yes.
So maybe like realistically, I mean, hey, if I think about my own kids and when they started trick-or-treating, the range it differed between the kids. But, you know, it could be, I mean, some take their kids out when they're 2, 3, school age.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the times trick-or-treating or Halloween kind of stops when kids are 12.
Yeah, after the 12 age, it can feel a little bit like they're aging out. It feels a little bit awkward. I mean, they don't even want to do trick-or-treating as much because they're going with like little siblings or little kids. And they're just like, I don't feel like this is for me as much anymore. But they're like, but what do I do instead? I still want to partake.
Yes. And because I also think on the flip side, I mean, they might be comfortable trick-or-treating with that sibling, but they may sense resistance from the homeowners approaching the house to trick-or-treat. And some homeowners may say like, hey, aren't you a little old?
Yeah.
I know that there are lots of people who comment on seeing teens
They
come
shouldn't,
to the house.
but
They shouldn't.
But it happens.
It does. And I want to talk about that because at our household, I am telling you, we get grandmas.
Yeah, you have a big street that goes crazy for Halloween.
We
so
do.
It is an event.
Yes. And so, you know, we have babies who come. We have school-age kids. We have teens, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, parents, grandparents dressing up and coming. And let me tell you, yes. And we have hundreds of pieces of candy that we hand out. I think maybe it was 1,000 last year. And we accept everyone.
Yeah.
Alex is the one who hands out the candy. And he would never turn someone down because of their age. It's all in the spirit of fun.
Yes. And I think, again, it's when you have one of those really fun streets or a block or whatever, it's like you just do see the entire community come out. Like we have this one house, one street in our neighborhood, and they rent a truck They bring out wine. Don't even know if it's legal, but they have like a wine. They give out wine for free and like a donut truck.
Oh, wow.
So, and everybody comes out and it's super civil. There's no craziness about it, but it's just really nice to see the whole neighborhood come out. And, you know, it's including the adults in it too and like all of that. And it's nice.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So
when else do you do that?
Well, exactly. And so really like as an individual who's handing out the candy, maybe some of us could be a little more open-minded in terms of who we hand it out to, just being open to everyone and including everyone who comes to the door. But what are some other things, you know, not everyone is going to change their mindset. Not every neighborhood is going to be welcoming toward teenagers.
Yeah.
So what are some other things that those who have aged out can do to continue participating and enjoying Halloween?
The easiest thing is like a movie night, scary movie night, I think.
Yes.
And they get to like still bring in their candy that they want to have or treats or whatever and just have like that thrilling night. I remember doing that when I was like 13. We watched The Exorcist.
Oh, scary.
And yeah, that was probably the first time I watched like a horror movie. And I was like, what's happening? But it was a lot of fun. So I think that for sure is like any sort of, like I said, spooky season, get into that and like have fun with friends where you're all just like hiding under blankets and trying to get through a horror movie.
And I think if you start this tradition at a young age with your family, then ideally this is something that your kids will continue to look forward to as they age and even as they're teens.
Yeah, even like Christmas movies, there's like Disney, like Haunted Mansion and all those kind of movies that are totally age appropriate that they can still look forward to. And it just kind of brings in, you know, those traditions. Like movies are great. They love having a dance off to like Thriller and some like Halloween music, like Monster Mash and that sort of stuff. So just bringing in other things that are not just based around trick-or-treating and candy, I think is always helpful.
Yep. One thing that our old neighbors, they had done, so as the kids became teens, they actually took ownership of the Halloween decorations. There were 2 siblings, and so they were responsible for the decorations. I got the impression that they were just obsessed with Halloween as we were. So they were responsible for the decor. And then on Halloween night, they would still dress up, the teens, and then they would be the ones handing out the candy.
Yeah,
so
that's a nice role.
Yes.
Yeah, where they still get to get involved, but yeah, they don't feel awkward going to a house.
So they still handed it out, and then they would still we would see them walking through the neighborhood, still doing a walk to check out the decorations. They wouldn't be going up to doors, but they would still be participating in the events on the street and the fun of trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Another really fun idea. So something that we did a couple summers ago was in the summertime, my kids, bear with me. In the summertime, my kids organized a bake sale. And Alex said, well, like, how are we going to attract people to this bake sale? I'm going to decorate the house for Halloween. So my point is not to have a Halloween bake sale in the summertime, but
surprise them.
For teens who may want to make some extra cash, who may want to participate in Halloween, they have a decorated house, and then they could have a bake sale as well, or some sort of sale for those in the community to come and enjoy.
It's like a lemonade stand, but you don't have lemonade. Maybe you have something else, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great to just like make Halloween around like your neighborhood and community.
100%. Or maybe there's a community event in the neighborhood that the teens can participate in, doing something like that. Also in Toronto, I don't know if you've ever been, Tatiana, I think it's around Bay and Bloor, they open up the lower level that's generally not open, and it becomes a haunted house.
Ooh.
And so we have gone through as a family. And so that's something that you could do together as a family, start young and then continue.
Another one we did was actually Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah. Oh,
because first of all, like all the rides are still working.
Yes.
And it's like not hot and not as busy.
Yeah.
And they've decorated it for Halloween.
Okay.
It's like they do like a Spookyville in the kids area where they can go and get candy as well to like certain places. But that's when we went to go to Canada's Wonderland for the first time over the Halloween part. And it was great. You kind of just like dressed a little bit more warmly.
Yeah.
But it was like so much less busier. And again, you're just getting into the festivities and the season, and they get all so excited, and they did a great job decorating everywhere, this huge like pumpkin things. And yeah.
Was that during the day?
Yeah, we went during the day.
Okay, because I've gone after hours Or I mean,
I think it changes.
Yes. Yeah. So then let's just say the kids age.
Yes.
And they don't want to do the daytime stuff anymore. So let's just say not everyone can go to Canada's Wonderland, but maybe they have an amusement park close to them. And then in the evening, that's when it would be for, say, the teens and the young adults. And
I think they have that in a few places.
House.
Casa Loma does one too.
Yeah.
It's also apparently supposed to be like really scary. So like don't take, I think they actually, I remember looking into this last year. It's like, oh, should we take our kids there? And then all of the reviews were like, this is not for children. Do not take your little children. It is terrifying.
It's definitely not for kids.
Yeah, I think
Wonderland
it's like
in the
age,
evening.
like, yeah. Once the evening, it's like, I think it's for like age 13 or 14 and up, not 7-year-olds. So.
Yeah. But that's a great tradition to start, just doing some sort of family activity. And then you can continue it together or with friends.
Yeah, exactly. With friends, I think they would have so much fun.
I know. There's just so much fun to be had in October around Halloween.
Yes, there is.
Love what you're hearing? Share the podcast with a friend who's in the same season of life. Let's build a community of families living with purpose and a little more peace. Okay, so we talked about, I think, enough ideas so that people can continue the tradition of Halloween and continue participating.
Yes.
Let's talk about the costumes, though.
Mm.
Because generally, most years, kids want different costumes.
Every year, yeah.
You have to get new ones, and then you need to get rid of your old ones. So I'd love to discuss ways that we can be, let's just say, and maybe cost or environmentally conscious so that the costumes can be repurposed.
Yes. So we were talking about this, like just organizing a costume swap somehow in a neighborhood, I think is a fantastic idea. I haven't done this. I'm thinking about it. I'd love to do this. Like our kids are part of a scouts group. Like it would make so much sense. Everybody just bring in their costumes and get it potentially a new one. Get it, like start this in like late September, early October. And there's no doubt about it that it will be successful, like free, like no cost. Just like bring a costume, take a costume.
Yes. And this can be, so like you said, the timing essentially right now is the perfect time to do it because people are starting to think about their costumes and they need time to see what's available in the swap. And if they don't get anything, then go find it somewhere else. But this swap can be as small or as big as you want it to be. So it could be even amongst your group of mom friends.
Yeah.
It could be at the school. So I really want to organize it either at my kids' school or we organize it, say, at our house or at our office for those in the community. But if individuals go to church, you could do it, or like a sports team.
Oh, yeah. It would be highly successful.
There are so many different ways you can easily implement this and just get someone else's fun costume idea.
I'm surprised I don't see this like more advertised.
I know.
Like where are the Halloween costume swaps happening? Invite me.
I know. This idea just gets me so excited.
I usually just end up like sending it obviously to like a Goodwill or something like that. And we'll go look for, there's like obviously tons of Halloween costumes there. So that's obviously a great place too, to just instead of going to like a store and buying a brand new costume, hit up like a thrift store first because there will be so many. I think most people just end up sending their costumes there.
Yeah.
So there's tons and tons that you can get that are in great condition. Yeah, that's like the first place to make it a little bit more environmentally friendly.
And then one thing that you and I had discussed is, say you do this costume swap and say I am the one who's hosting it and I'm actually left over with a lot of costumes in the end. In Toronto, or like I think in Canada, there's Diabetes Canada who will come to your home. If you schedule a pickup, they will come and pick up your donations. So this would be—
And they take Halloween costumes?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so they pick up your donations and then I believe they sell it and then they use the money toward diabetes research and funding towards that.
That's a great way to get rid of your costumes and get new costumes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And support a good cause.
And support a good cause.
Yeah, and you aren't creating more work for yourself of having to then go and donate it, right?
Have it sit in your car for a while first.
Yes. Yeah. For about a month. And then you've missed
Halloween. You're like, oh man.
Yeah. So that's a good way to kind of complete the whole process so you aren't stuck with all the costumes.
That's a great plan.
Yep. And the other thing is if your kids have older cousins
Oh, yeah.
Getting their hand-me-downs
Yes.
for the costumes.
Yes.
That's another good idea.
Yeah.
That's something that we have done. We have been on the receiving end of many costumes. So that's you could reach out to the cousins and see.
Oh my God, I'm just remembering a few years ago I had to make a Tron costume for my son. It was such a bad idea. It was so complicated. I tried to make a costume and I don't even know how much money I spent on this ridiculous costume trying to make this like blue tape like that lit up and everything. And just,
what happened in the end?
He wore it. It
came
didn't
together.
look good.
Okay. And then did you regret?
I did. I told him
it?
that's the one and only time I'm ever going to make a costume.
I know.
We now have like kind of like a funny story about it. And like he had to wear it to school and it was not comfortable. It was like held together by duct tape. I think I used a lot of like glue gunning. Like it was, I don't even know how I took it off because they had to have this strip that went from the top to the bottom. And it had to like fish it through. You just like suffer through.
It sounds like too much work. But hey, maybe that's where you learned your strengths and your weaknesses.
Oh,
there.
I did.
Yeah.
And I was no seamstress.
I know. Because I have a couple friends in particular who are so good.
I know.
And
God
making
bless
those
them
costumes.
for being able to do that.
And,
that is
and
not
that's
me.
also so fun for them. And then
Yes.
the kids look forward to it. But that's not me.
Yeah. I remember my mom made me a pumpkin costume and it was like a cloth, bed. I don't even know what it would have been. Like maybe a tablecloth that had a pumpkin pattern on it. And she just like cut a hole at the top.
Oh.
And that was my pumpkin costume when I was a kid. Back then they like made out all the costumes.
And
at least my family, that was the case.
You could get away with anything like that back then.
I actually would love for people to share their like DIY costume fails.
Yes. That would be great.
Or your 80s DIY costumes that were just like, that was the norm back in the day. If you have any great homemade costumes that worked out well or did not, we would love to see them. So share it on Instagram. We'll make a little story about it.
I'd love that. Okay, next, can we talk about safety when it comes to trick-or-treating?
Yes.
I am all about safety. And in my experience, I have come across a situation where if we had conversations before the night started of Halloween and trick-or-treating, some of these things could have been alleviated. So let me tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When my daughter was, I think in grade 1, a classmate. So in our neighborhood, we talked about how it's a really big deal. There are thousands of people on the streets. And my daughter's classmate was out trick-or-treating. And my friend and I, we found her on her own.
Oh.
She had parted ways from her siblings and her dad.
Okay.
And I said, okay, like, where do you live? Like, I'll walk you to your house. She's like, I don't know my address. What I know is that we can't walk to the house. It's not within walking distance. And I was like, okay. I didn't have the dad's phone number. I wasn't friends with the mom at the time. I was able to find the mom's phone number, call her, but she was sick. And so I couldn't get a hold of her. And my friend and I were like, what are we going to do? Like, I don't want to take her back to our house, right? Like, maybe we just stand here and wait. And eventually the dad came back around and saw her. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's such a good point. If you have multiple kids, right? You have 3
it's
kids.
Chaotic. They're running everywhere.
It's chaotic. You haven't discussed a plan.
Yeah.
If you separate. She didn't know her phone number. She was in grade 1. My kids, they don't know my phone number.
No.
And
we'll get it wrong.
At that age, they wouldn't have known our home address either.
No.
And so I thought, okay, you almost need a safety plan so that if that happens, you have a plan in place. You can have a conversation with your child. And so after that, I had created some Mabel's labels with our phone number.
That's very smart.
And our home address. And so, and this goes beyond Halloween, but if we're going to a sports event, a crowded place, if my kids are going on a school or a camp trip, I stick this sticker on them and I communicate it to them. I don't just stick the sticker on, but I would do this for Halloween. Stick it on and say, if you communicate the plan, if you get lost and an adult finds you, this is the phone number to show to them and then they can call me.
I am
This
making
is
these
also
labels right away.
this is also our home address.
Yes.
And so on Halloween, Alex will be at home and they could also walk them home.
Yeah, that's so smart.
So there is a resource that listeners will be able to download that includes a trick-or-treating plan. So it's really just to initiate conversation about what happens. What is the protocol? Who's going together?
Yeah.
What are the phone numbers? What's the address? So that you can run through this plan with the adults involved and the kids. Or do you need a meeting place?
A meeting place. Another one is like, we have, like I said, that one street that gets the donut van and everything. It is ramped. Like you're moving through like a sea of people. I would even say like putting those like glow wristbands.
Yes.
But like you can't just put like almost like put like everybody in your family gets 2 blue ones.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So just an easy way to, because other kids might have it, but it's like the kids with the 2 blue are mine. And that's just like an easy way because they see their friends and they run off.
Yes.
Like all of our neighborhood is out right there.
That's such a great idea.
That happened a few times, just having to like scan, being like, where are they? And like just costumes. Luckily, obviously finding them very quickly, but easier way to see is if there's some sort of very bright, like it's starting to get dark already, like indicator that these ones are yours.
Yes.
Just to be able to
That's a great idea. Okay, so everyone's going to be doing 2
blue, just something that you know, or like whether it's in a necklace or you're going to choose pink or green or whatever, but there's something that they can see.
To identify them.
Yeah, to quickly just like not lose them in a crowd.
That's a great idea. We have also used, a lot of dog owners may know this or have it, just one of those flashing lights. We'll use those. And then other people could just use those reflector bands.
Yeah, something that can like you can quickly see if you're going into like a busy area.
Yeah, so coming up with getting those in advance so that it helps with visibility and then coming up with the plan.
Yeah, I think the label thing is so great. It makes so much sense. Never even occurred to me.
Yeah. No, of course not, because you had never been in that situation. And then
especially when you're close to home.
Yeah.
You kind of like get your guards down. I think if you're in another place, like if you're in Canada's Wonderland or something like that, it makes a lot of sense to have something if they get separated. But when you're close to home, it's something that's not often like you're thinking about. You're like, they're with me.
Exactly. And it's especially challenging because quite often it is one parent who's taking.
That's right, because the other one is usually home.
Yeah.
Handing out the candy.
Yeah. So there's and then discuss this when it's not so busy.
Yes. Not like just as you're going on there, their attention's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So coming up with the plan, creating or filling out this resource in advance, discussing it when it's a calm, quiet time before the activities begin.
Yes.
At Intentional Household, we believe home is the most important system you'll ever build. Our podcast, Instagram, and website are all here to help you do it with clarity and care. Join us at intentionalhousehold.com or at Intentional Household.
At what point do you think you would let your kids go alone?
That's a really good question. And I really think it depends on the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. Do you have any
I know my
thoughts?
kids will probably be asking. I'm not there yet either. They'll probably be asking by age 11 or 12.
Okay. Oh,
if they can.
Okay.
My kids are 9. So I'm like a couple years from that. But I know that they'll want to. It'll be a really big deal. And again, like we talked about the aging out thing, there's only like a couple years where they'll want to do that anyways.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to try to do it. It'll be nerve-wracking.
I think by the time, because I can just imagine my nieces.
Yeah.
One isn't even 13 yet. And for sure, I think she has been trick-or-treating on her own for a little bit. I'm not sure about the 11-year-olds, but I could see myself just based on our neighborhood. Yes, it's really busy, but it's a small radius.
Yeah.
That maybe there would be some more comfort there.
Yes. And I think, again, if you prepare for it, I mean, these are the things our kids need to do. You know, they need to grow up into those things and you have to be able to let them go. But even going, like we have a neighbor that's like 2 years older than them that they're very good friends with. So that'd be perfect. If like she wanted to go with them, I would feel pretty good if they were all together in a group. Again, just knowing who they're going with a plan, knowing what streets. That's a situation where I'd want to know the route that you're taking.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe in the first year I might do a casual drive-by.
Yes.
Just to like, hey, everybody. Yeah. Just to get myself used to the concept. But I think it is good for them to do that. Again, knowing that it is very busy, making sure that they stick in a group. They have those rules. They must abide by them. Or I'll never trust them again.
Yeah. And I imagine they naturally evolve to that.
If anything, it's a great opportunity to kind of see that in action and like see your kids being responsible and taking that on and like them wanting that. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. And, you know, if you have put a good plan together, so it could be a good milestone for them.
Yeah. And so much fun. Okay. We've talked about the trick-or-treating and the costumes, but let's talk about the food. Night of Halloween, before they go out trick-or-treating, the dinner that they're going to eat so that they are well-nourished before they load up on all of the candy.
Yeah, we've always tried to, I don't want them just, you know, saving up for candy and that's all they're going to eat. I've always tried to make a bit of a theme of it, of like a spooky spaghetti.
Okay.
Like they would call it the brains or whatever when they were like little. I don't know if it's still going to work on them, but they'll probably still get a kick out of it where we just try to do some stuff. You can find it on Pinterest. We'll probably add some to our Pinterest page of some like Halloween food ideas that you could do. Just again, make it fun, make it festive. They kind of get into it a few days before. We plan out a nice like Halloween dinner. And it's just like, I know they're going to eat it because they're excited about it.
Yes.
They kind of get excited about it, then they're more likely to eat it.
Okay, well, now that you've mentioned the food, I want to go back for a second because it made me think of something that we had done when our daughter was just a baby. And this is something that the kids who've aged out can do to participate in Halloween still. So one year we actually did those mystery boxes. And so I had cooked some spaghetti. I got a raw cauliflower. I got some grapes. And I made these black boxes with holes.
Oh, cool.
And trick-or-treaters could come up to the table and put their hand in. Ooh. And we would tell a little story and then they would feel and guess. You know, I think there were brains. I can't remember what the other items were, but it was just a fun, interactive.
Oh, that's so fun. My kids would love this.
Yes, they loved it. And then we also did kind of like a mad scientist display. And so we got some of that ice that makes
the dry ice?
Yeah, the dry ice. And then we had some sort of science experiments going on at the table. And then we also had some Jell-O molds that they can touch as well. And so that's just another fun activity that the
teenagers
kids
would love. That
they could put that
100%.
on and then manage that table.
Totally get into it.
It was so much fun. I can't remember what the other thing was, but maybe there was something overflowing. I mean, if you Google something, you'll be able to see different Halloween-themed science experiments. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, it's like that age where like they're like, I don't know if I'm going to go trick-or-treating, but I still like pretend a bit. Yeah. Like, you know, and they don't know how to put that or where to put that. Halloween's a great place. We have a neighbor across the street and he's just like, he becomes a wizard. And he has this crazy wizard staff and he like totally is in character.
Okay.
And it's so fun. The kids absolutely love it. And it's just at that time he gets to like express that, you know, a little bit of a creative pretend that's starting to fade, you know, like that age where you're like, oh, and it's even fun for the parents, I'm sure, to like let him have it again. Let him like get into it and feel like a kid in like that sort of safe way. And yeah, he's so fun.
Oh, I love that.
The kids like love to go down there.
Oh, wow. That's so great. Okay. Yeah. So there are some more ideas. Okay. So back to the food.
Yes,
so
back to the
you
food.
like doing the themed food ideas.
Yeah. So they
That's
are
great.
excited about eating something and it feels still festive, but I feel good that they've actually had a nutritious meal before they like binge on a bunch of candy.
Yeah, because in the past we have ordered pizza, which gets the job done, but it's not so balanced nor nutritious. And so we've really focused our energy on more nourishing meals. And we, in the past couple or few years, we've had people come join us for dinner and then we all go out together. So some of the things we've done are just like homemade burgers or veggie burgers.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can do tacos.
Pulled pork.
Yes.
And then we always have the fruit and veg tray in the middle. You could do like a sheet pan meal.
Can always do some soup.
Some soup, right? Can't
We
go
used
wrong.
to do soup and like put like even those like plastic eyeballs.
Yeah.
So they would just float around. I mean, I wouldn't serve it with it, but I just like put it in the thing and they would be like, we're
Oh,
trying
that's
like,
fun.
you know,
And like something that doesn't
Halloween
require too much cleanup. So you could probably, well, I imagine you prep the soup in advance and then you
butternut
clean
soup.
everything.
Yeah.
So
Nice
that
and
would be
festive.
another easy one. Or even just wraps.
Yeah.
Something that's really easy again, but is balanced with, like, you want to make sure they're getting their protein because they're going to be having all that sugar. You want something to help stabilize the blood sugar levels. So the protein helps with that. And they are going to be burning a lot of energy.
They're going to be running around for like 2 hours.
Yes. So they do need some sort of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something that's balanced and easy cleanup, let's just say. So those are some good ideas, I think. And, you said soup. It could also be chili.
Chili,
like
lasagna, like a big lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
Just feeds the crowd. Easy for you because you're probably getting them in costumes, all these things. So just like, we'll go one dish type of thing as much as possible. But as long as they're getting satiated, they've got all of their carbs, protein, all that stuff. They're not going to be hungry and cranky over it. And they're not going to be trying to eat their candy while they're in substitute for dinner.
Yeah. Ever wonder why some to-do lists feel impossible while others feel energizing? The Kolbe-A Index helps you understand your natural problem-solving instincts so you can stop forcing systems that don't work for you. At Intentional Household, we use Kolbe to help parents design routines and structures that match their strengths. Whether you're a high follow-through who thrives on structure or a quick start who needs flexibility, your home can be set up to support the way you operate best. Take the Kolbe-A today and start running your household like the version of you that actually works. Email us at info@intentionalhousehold.com and we'll put you in the right direction. So let's talk about the candy consumption.
Yes.
Do you have any sort of rules or guidelines that you give to your kids?
I don't give them any restrictions on that day because I want them to have fun with it.
Same here.
And I don't want to be like, wah, wah.
I know, yeah.
So, ruin their fun. But the next day, absolutely. I take all of the I try to take all of the candy. Like I let them have their bags for a little bit because they're very territorial about how much candy they got. Yeah. But then after like 24 hours, I'm like, okay, we're combining everything. And I'm going to start like kind of distributing it in reasonable portions after this. Like I have to go hide it because there can be quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And if they're left to their own devices, they will just plow through so much. They could just sit there and plow through candy. And I just then have to deal with all the wrappers. That's a whole other problem. But yeah, I don't want it to just be an endless amount. They can come back with a ridiculous amount of candy, like 2 huge bags of candy. So I have to be strategic. And we hide, I put it in the freezer sometimes. I just hide it and like let them have little portions after that, little bit for lunch and that sort of stuff. Provided obviously it's not nothing with peanuts, but just like little bits of candy. I'm okay with it for a bit. And then I kind of like try to take it out of sight, out of mind for a bit. And then sometimes I throw it out too when it's just too much.
Yeah, we also...
My husband's also going to go through it.
I know. We follow a very similar approach. Night of Halloween, they can eat whatever they want. I don't care because I want them to have fun and that is part of it. And I just don't want to be that mom barking in their ear like, you've had too much, stop. I do remind them because they have gotten sick at times from eating too much. Like, just be mindful of your hunger cues and if you're full, to be mindful because you might get sick, remember? Remember when you got sick from eating too much of this? But I let them eat as much as they want the night of. And then the next day, and this is something that can be discussed and is a part of the resource, how much can they have every day, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 pieces, and then they can choose. Are you going to have it with your lunch or do you want to have it when you get home in the evening? Something like that, but discussing it so that they have a clear idea. And so you talked about like freezing yours and baking with it.
Yes, I have baked like especially the chocolate stuff. Like you can do cookies with like, those M&Ms or whatever. All of that stuff works. We have to do the same thing for Easter. When we just have too much chocolate, we end up freezing it. Candy will be okay for a while. I just kind of freeze it so that it's just like hard to get to, and it's like the texture is like they have to defrost it in order for it to be the same. So it's like you don't. Yeah, it's like I know it wouldn't really stop them for that long, but they also don't know where it is.
Okay,
usually the time they're not going through the freezer, so that helps things like just. Keep it away. Also, my husband, keep it away. He even says so himself. He's like, you need to hide this. Like, I'm going to go through it all. This just looks so little and innocent, but.
We put ours in the pantry, but up high.
Yeah, he's going to get
so that, of course, he could reach it. Yeah, but the kids can't.
Yes, yeah.
The other thing I've done with excess candy is at our school, we will have community events like movie night, and they'll sell chocolate bars or candy.
Great. That's a great idea.
And they'll do a call out to the school, like, does anyone have any chocolate bars or candy to donate? So I have used that. And we had so much left over last year.
Yeah.
And so it lasted throughout the school year for the events. But that's a good way to get it out of the house.
Yeah. If anybody's having a birthday party and they need it for loot bags, you can always give it to them. Honestly, like we don't have any October birthdays, but be a good way to get rid of it and not feel guilty.
Yeah.
And the other big thing for me is like just candy wrappers left everywhere. Like for some reason, my kids are like, oh, we're in the mood. We're just going to become slobs. Like we're just like so excited and they just forget about taking care of themselves. And like it's not something I appreciate at all. So that's another one with like there is a big thing like managing the candy, but also managing the mess and just making sure that they're not being
slobs.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I don't know what happens.
Or maybe even just like the night of Halloween when they're going crazy.
Having a bowl. Something there.
Can you at least put your trash in this bowl?
Yeah. But if they don't, then it's like hard stop. You're not getting any more candy for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. The wrappers are definitely an issue.
I know, because they're so small, so there's so many of them. So yeah, that's not my favorite part of Halloween, the wrappers, but
I know.
Kind of comes with it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we talked about lots of great ways families can make Halloween everlasting in their family and households so that traditions are made within the household and it provides lasting memories for them that they can hopefully implement as they're like 20-year-olds and as they age and become parents themselves. It really, like I said, goes beyond just the night of Halloween, and it can be a full season if you want.
Absolutely. A lovely family time, as well as your whole community can come together around it. Again, there isn't always that opportunity for that, so this is a great one.
Yep.
So happy Halloween, everybody. Happy spooky season.
Thank you so much for listening to the Intentional Household podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'd love to have you as part of our community. Join us on Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest at Intentional Household, where we're sharing even more tips, tools, and resources to help your home run with more ease, intention, and joy. Until next time, here's to creating a household that supports the life you want to live.